Hi there, I'm Frank from ThunderBolt Designs. I'm here today to talk about the physics of golf putters and how the ThunderBolt Mark II putter adjusts the physics and physical characteristics of the golf club to match your stroke. Let's start off by talking about the ThunderBolt Mark II. It's essentially a blade type putter with a slot in the back, whereby you can add weights to change the physical characteristics of the putter. You can add them, remove them, and manipulate them to get the best physical characteristics for your game. So let's talk about the three, I think, important aspects of golf putter, the physics of a golf putter. There's probably many more, but the three big ones are weight, face balance or center of gravity, or moment of inertia, which is forgiveness. We'll start with weight. Weight, as it may seem obvious, is that you can add or subtract weight, make a putter feel heavier or lighter. Why is that important? Well, you may like a light putter, whereby the impact of your stroke is when you hit the ball on the downstroke. Okay, so you control how far the ball goes on the downstroke as you impact the ball. However, some people may want a heavier club. The advantage to this is that instead of determining ball distance and trajectory by the downstroke, you determine it by the upstroke. The further back you go, the more weight and more energy you're impacting to the ball. The second characteristic about a golf putter is the center of gravity. Let's look at this head of a golf club putter. The center of gravity is the point in space, could be a point right here on the head or somewhere in the air, where all the weight is centered about. So for symmetric design such as this, the center of gravity is probably somewhere here, about the middle of the club, right behind the face. However, center of gravity for golfers is reference to the shaft, because that's what we hold. So if the center of gravity is on this side of the shaft, it will hang like this, toe hang. If the center of gravity is kind of in line with the shaft, it will probably be a face balance where the face is pointing straight up. If the center of gravity is on this side of the shaft, the golf club putter will hang like this. That's a heel hang. So why is that important? What does it matter to you? Well, it depends on your golf stroke, on your putting stroke. Some people may want more weight on one end or the other, depending on how you swing the putter. You may have more of an outside to inside, inside outside, curve path, this path, that path, all slightly different. Manipulating the weights allows you to either maintain that path, you have the weight centered just where you want it, or you may want to offset the weight so that it slightly changes the path of your golf swing so you can get a better contact. The third thing we're going to talk about is moment of inertia or forgiveness. In actual engineering terms, it's rotational moment of inertia. So what is rotational moment of inertia? Well, rotational moment of inertia is the propensity of an object to not want to rotate or change directions when it rotates. So imagine, if you will, we have a wheel about this big. It's symmetric, so the center of gravity is right through the center of the wheel. So you put a shaft through it and you spin the wheel. It takes a little bit of effort because the wheel doesn't want to spin. So you have to put a little bit of force or energy into the wheel to get it to start spinning. Now, if you want to stop it, you have to grab it. Of course, the wheel will want to resist your desire to stop it, so it's going to fight back. Now, imagine instead of a little wheel, we have a big wheel. It's going to take a lot more energy to get it going and also to stop it. Well, the same thing applies to golf clubs. So it's the rotation about the shaft. So you can see my wrists moving like that. So the moment of inertia will affect how the club face wants to stay on its path. A large moment of inertia, it will kind of resist any changes in direction from your wrist. A small moment of inertia means that you can manipulate it a little more. Now, the engineering formula for moment of inertia is mass times distance squared. And that's distance from the center of gravity. Luckily, with computers, we can calculate that pretty accurately. The computer will break down these weights into little bits or elements and calculate the distance it is from the center of gravity. So it's mass times distance at center of gravity times distance. So what does all this mean to you, the golfer? Well, the beauty about the ThunderBolt Mark II is you can adjust the weight, center of gravity and forgiveness by manipulating these weights in the back of the putter. You can take the weights off, you can turn them around, rotate them, slide them back and forth, whatever you like. But this is not the case of set it and forget it, where you set the weights and forget about them. No, the beauty about this putter is that you can adjust the weights depending on the course conditions and how your body is moving that particular day. So what I do before a round of golf is I will go to the putting green and practice putting and seeing how the course is reacting that day. If the greens are kind of fast, maybe I'll maximize my moment of inertia. All right, got the weights as far away from the center of gravity as possible. And that will help me aim the ball straighter and also on track. Maybe the greens are a little slow, so I'll move the weights here. So I get all the weight right behind the contact face. That way, I'll definitely get the ball to the hole. It won't be short. Likewise, maybe I'm having a little inside to outside or outside to inside, so I'll adjust the weights so that they're maybe biased towards the toe or the heel. So I can adjust the weight to compensate for how my putter stroke is reacting that day. So there's lots of things you can do with this, not just one setting. So it's like having multiple putters in your bag. It's just one putter and multiple weights. And as we get more information about putting mechanics, and feedback from our customers, we'll start changing things around. So imagine if you, want a lighter weight, we can offer lighter weights. Or maybe this whole weight thing isn't working for you. Well, you prefer a more traditional putter. Well, we have these weights. Now you can have kind of a bladed style putter. Still have a nice moment of inertia with these tines out here. You can adjust it a little bit left and right to offset. Maybe you want more of a traditional, mallet. Slide that baby in. There you go. There's your mallet. And by the way, you can pick up a ball with this. Perhaps you want a heavier mallet. A little more weight, a little more MOI. There you go. You can change it. So one putter becomes many different putters. So instead of having to look for a needle in a haystack to get that perfect putter, you have the whole haystack here and you make your own needle. Well, thank you very much for listening to this. I hope this helps you with your putting game. Go out, have a great day, and hit the course and do some putting, okay? Bye-bye.